Hey everybody, I have an interesting topic for you today, and that is nice guys. And a very simple test to determine whether you fall into this category of nice guys. So, what is a nice guy? There's a great book by Dr. Robert Glover called No More Mr. Nice Guy. And obviously, I'm not going to go through the whole book, but essentially, one of the premises there is that as children, we are in the presence of, let's say, a father figure, maybe a father or a male caretaker who was very abusive, very aggressive, if you will, towards siblings, maybe your mother. And unconsciously, as children, we somewhere decided that, you know what, I'm not going to be like that guy. So 180 degrees, we turn to the opposite spectrum, which is very, very uber nice guy. And I think that's been really accelerated by the feminization of our world today. It's not okay to be masculine somehow. What is being seen as bad is toxic masculinity, all this type of BS. And essentially what happened is this type of nice guy really tends to put this is a defense mechanism. And it's a learned response. And we tend to put other people first. We're always second. We need to be always say the right thing, do the right thing. We don't want to piss anybody off, and we tend every single time something bubbles up in terms of aggression, like a feeling of judgment or anger, we tend to really suppress it because this is what nice guys do. They don't really express their feelings too much. Now, let's see if you fall into this category of being a nice guy. So there's four simple patterns. One is confrontation. How do you handle conflict? I'm not necessarily talking about the physical conflict where you go and start smacking people, although this is a part of it, meaning how would you deal in a situation like this, but I'm more talking in a verbal manner. For example, would you go and knock on your neighbor's door and say, dude, you guys are a little bit too noisy, I need you to keep things quiet a little bit? Or maybe you confronted a friend or a colleague of yours who is maybe slacking, for example. How you deal with conflict. Very important. Number 2, fear of judgment. Are you hypersensitive? Every single thing that you're about to say, that you're about to do, you're always second guessing it just because you're not too sure how you're going to be perceived by others, whether they're going to judge you or not. How do you deal with that? Number 3 is, when was the last time that you really drew a line in the sand and really took a position? You know what, I'm going to stick to my guns. I believe this is the right thing to do. This is the right thing to say. I don't care what people think. I just know in my heart that this is something that I really should definitely stick to. And how did you deal with that? Do you often, when a moment like this comes up, do you fight, flight, or freeze? Because usually those are the responses. Would you become passive aggressive and become a little bit resentful after the situation has passed, but not willingly, openly communicate this to the other person? So that's number 3. Finally, number 4 is, how do you deal with anger? Most of the time there's very negative connotations about anger. And reason being is that usually anger is associated with toxic masculinity and abusing other people, etc., etc. But I think anger could be a very good thing if you channel it in a proper what's the word I'm looking for? Constructive way. It could be really good because you're not suppressing all these feelings inside of you, and then we end up being ticking time bombs only to be pissed off by something very small, and then we just let everything out. So if you find a way to really channel this anger, channel this really strong emotions, which everybody has, except nice guys, because they tend to internalize things. They tend to intellectualize. I don't really have any anger that much. Or no, not me. I'm a nice guy. I'm a mama's boy. They'll normally say, oh, I don't have any anger issues. Now, I don't want to be sitting here speaking as if I'm better than this. In fact, it's not a bad thing. It just is. Like I said even before, it's important that we bring self-awareness, because once there's self-awareness, there's a little bit more understanding, and then we can start working with that. I certainly have most of those 4 things. I've had it in the past. Even to this day, I experience some of those on occasions, and I'm trying to get better. That's the whole point, is not necessarily to wimp and say, oh, I'm a nice guy, because nobody likes nice guys. Even women who say they like nice guys, they don't expect, or they don't respect rather, weak men. So there we go. There we have it, guys. This is the video for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think, and I see you next time. Done.